What's good, y'all? My name is Ahmed Dents. Welcome to Ahmed's Voice, another episode 2.3. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about just, you saw the title, Be Agile in Your Preparation, right? So that's what we're going to be talking about today is just how are you preparing in life, period. Doesn't matter what it's about. Where are you at? What are you doing? Of course, I always use arts and media as a foundation for my conversations because, hey, that's what I do. That's what I've been doing. That's what I'm going to continue to do. So that's where we're going to be at with that. Again, thank you so much for joining me. Ahmed's Voice. This webcast is on many, many platforms. Will be on many, many more. The easiest way for you to find out where Ahmed's Voice is at and where you can check out Ahmed's Voice is by visiting my website at ahmedsvoice.com. Yeah, ahmedsvoice.com. That is the main hub where you can find everything, all of the content that I post and share, or at least links to everything. You can go to the website, check it out. We got a link for the webcast. We'll show you all the platforms that it's currently on. I have a couple more that I'll probably be adding tomorrow. We're also on Stitcher. It'll be up on Vimeo pretty soon, Rumble. So there'll be plenty of different places where you'll be able to check out the podcast. Also, while you're there, once you go ahead and check out my journal-blog, you can find episodes of the podcast there. Also, I have a couple of great articles up, mini documentary that is narrated by Chris Hedges, American Psychosis. Definitely want to check that out. I'll let you know how you're feeling all offset and off balance these days with everything going on. And also, I have a short review of the Vince Staples show. Hilarious. You definitely got to check it out. More program reviews and movie reviews to come. Then, of course, I have a tab that I've just started filling out, arts and media industry news. So this will be just interesting articles that I find interesting. I'll curate here on this page as far as things that are happening in the media and performing arts world. And of course, if you want to know a little bit about me, I have an about section, a couple of media things that I've done. Again, ahmedsvoice.com. Make sure you head on over there and check it out. I would greatly appreciate it. Again, thank you for joining me today. The title of the episode is Be Agile in Your Preparation. So I saw a video on Instagram about a week and a half ago, and it just so goes in line with how I feel we need to prepare for things, right? Especially for those of us like myself who have been down the prodigal road. We've been on the other side of life. We've wasted time, we've wasted money, we've wasted friendship, we've wasted relationships, we've wasted resources. And, I've really led an unconventional life and definitely an unconventional way throughout my media and arts career. But it's been founded on preparation. It's been founded on knowing the principles of whatever it is I'm dealing with and going beyond those principles to understand the whole foundation of this arts industry. How is what I do in ticketing affect fund development? How does what fund development do? How does what they do affect what happens on stage or affects, what happens with the house staff? How do all these things come together, and how does what I do reach out and touch all these other things? But that comes with really paying attention, and not only paying attention to your institution or your job. You need to pay attention on the national level of what's happening in your country, because everything filters down to those theater seats or those concert seats or whatever it may be. You really need to be able to prepare for your work. You need to really be able to prepare in a down situation. How do I work? How do I do this when I don't have the technology? How do I do this when I don't have this or that in front of me? How do I work when the communication is low? How do I learn what happens in a good and a bad environment so I'm able, as I go forward, to be a proper leader and be able to see something coming a mile off? How do I see the storm coming when maybe nobody else sees it? Or maybe the people who need to see it are not aware of it. How do I see that coming? How do I prepare for that? So what that entails is a lot of study. Study, people think you just open books. It's a lot of study, especially the world we live in now. I primarily do ticketing and IT management. That's what I've primarily done over my career, but I've been on stage. I've been an associate artistic director. I've been a consultant on stage shows. Of course, there's the media, the on-air broadcasting. I've worked on websites, helped to manage websites, back-end ticketing systems. I'm a development coordinator, so I've had to build the campaigns and send out the acknowledgement letters and understand, how do you process how do you process donations from donor advised funds and stock funds, and what does that mean, and how does that fall within the law, what's legal, what's not, and how does the stock market affect how that's going to happen down the line, how does that happen with the arts. And so all these things, you have to prepare, you have to be looking, you have to have your head on the swivel, you have to be looking beyond what you do, you have to take into account your whole organization, your whole city, the whole country, what's happening with the world. You have to be able to know the whole industry, but you also have to have a grounded, realistic understanding of the history of the industry. And I really don't think a lot of us have that. I think we don't know this monster that we've decided to work in. And but all that comes with preparation. But again, this carries over into anything, any line of work, relationships, your health, anything. That's what all this is. And I actually got the title, Be Agile in Your Preparation. I got the title from the Instagram video that I was telling you about. It's a video. You've seen it on the screen now. It's this video by Instagram account Pivotal Moments Media. Say that twice, and 3 times fast. And this term is coined in this video by this gentleman by the name of Inky Johnson, a spectacular speaker. You definitely want to check him out. You can follow him on Instagram at Inky Johnson Motivate or Serendipity with Inky Johnson. Again, this particular clip is from Pivotal Moments Media, but I definitely wanted to share with you this video. Let's get into what Inky's saying. It is really profound, but it is at the heart of what I want to share with you today. So let's get into it. Press play.
Talk to a younger cat about success, bro. I would tell him, enter every activity with the need and the want to be the best, right? Enter every activity with the need and the want to be the best, but be agile in your preparation, right? And when I say agile in your preparation,
talk to him about agile.
Right? You got to be agile in that preparation, because your preparation will always vary based upon the headspace that you're in, right? And the key to knowing what headspace that you're in is you got to know yourself, man. Like every day you're not going to be super motivated. Every day you're not going to feel like the best in the world. So you got to be agile in your preparation, right? When things happen, when things come up, be agile. Have a level of mental agility, right? The quote says it. It's not the strongest, it's not the most intelligent, but the one that's most willing to adapt to change. You got to be agile in your preparation. But in every activity you enter with the need and the want to be the best. That's not predicated upon external factors. That's not predicated upon who I'm up against. That's not predicated upon their record. It's not predicated upon what they did to the Cats last week. That's predicated upon solely my need and my want to be the best with every environment that I go into. Be agile in that preparation, man, because that preparation will always vary based upon the headspace that you're in.
Yeah, so there you go. You heard the man. Be agile in your preparation. Be agile in how you prepare. In other words, you got to have agility. If you guys have ever been in sports, you've known people who are just nimble on their feet. It seems like they can do almost anything. They can jump high, they can run fast, they can keep their balance. You got to be agile in your preparation for whatever it is that you're doing. You have to practice as if things might fall down. You have to practice and prepare for the no-win situation, the no-win scenario. Star Trek 2, Wrath of Khan, Kobayashi Maru, right? For the nerds out there know what I'm talking about, the no-win situation, and Kirk rigged the simulator so he could win, right? You always have to keep in mind that there's going to be a no-win situation, but keep in your mind there might be a way to win. So always be prepared to go this way or that way. You have to know your fellow staff members. You have to know the attitude of your organization. You have to know the attitude and propensities of the people you work with, key situations. How can I prepare myself for knowing what they're going to do, or what I know they're not going to do, or what time frame they're going to do it? Because that might not be equal with your time frame, but you still have a job to do. So as much as you can possibly, you have to be able to prepare for these things that maybe others don't see coming. Um, you have to see it coming. You have to be ready. You have to have a fail safe, or you have to just give the warnings as much as you can that, hey, this is a house of cards. It's going to fall down. But you have to know it's a house of cards. It's going to fall down, and you have to be aware, and you have to see it. And again, that's being prepared mentally, physically, in your preparation and how you go about setting up things. You know, you come into a place where there's a system that needs to be set up. People are not going to understand, but you know what they need from you is to set A, B, C, and D up. And sometimes that takes a long time because everything is processed, right? Nothing just happens. Trees don't grow. There's a process. There's the seed, the germination, the planting, the roots digging down. And then we see the tree at the top, but we don't even see the roots underneath and how far it's had to dig. So there's a process in everything. Do you believe in the Big Bang Theory? Okay, great. There was a process that set that off. Everything is processed. And so everything's processed and everything is preparation, right? Then we have to be prepared to do the things that we have to do. In fact, let me share with you something else, another great video that kind of goes along with this. This is a video. This is a video of Kobe Bryant sharing preparation mentality. And just check out Kobe Bryant, probably my favorite basketball player. I'll put it that way. He's my favorite dude. I love to watch him ball. I love to watch replays of him talk and the way he encountered the game, the way he prepared, the way he was prepared to make sure that losing was not going to be on him. Somebody was going to beat him. You understand what I'm saying? He knew that somebody was going to have to beat him. So let's go ahead and check out this video and these words by Kobe Bryant. Shout out to DVLP on Instagram. That's where I got this video at. Let's check it out.
If your job is to try to be the best basketball player you can be, right? To do that, you have to practice, you have to train, right? You want to train as much as you can, as often as you can. If I start earlier, I can train more hours. And I know the other guys aren't doing it because I know what their training schedule is. If I do this consistently over time, the gap's just going to widen and widen and widen and widen and widen, and they won't be able to get that back. So to me, it was just common sense. I'm like thinking, how can I get an advantage? Oh, start earlier. My first class in high school was 7:45. I used to get to the gym around 5 a.m. and I'd play before school, just me and my coach. And sometimes it would just be me and the janitor. But I played during lunch and then practice after, and then go home, do my schoolwork, and then watch a bunch of game film and games on TV and study. The mentality is a really simple one. The confidence comes from preparation. So when the game's on the line, I'm not asking myself to do something that I haven't done thousands of times before.
So there you go. Kobe. He said he's not asking himself to do anything. Oh, let me shut that off. He's not asking himself to do anything he has not done before because he is taking the time to practice in extreme situations and extreme conditions. Look, every day between 5 and 6 o'clock, I hit the gym. I don't want to do it every day. In fact, every day I don't want to do it. I sit there, I get ready to get up. I don't want to go there and do all this. I don't want to hit the gym, but I know I need to do it. And so even when I don't feel like doing it, I go anyway. I hit the gym. I hit the kettlebells. I hit my squats. I'm doing everything I need to do. I'm stretching, hitting the bike. I'm riding 10 miles because I know if I can get through this morning, that's going to make the rest of my day easier. I've already conquered I've already walked up a big hill in the morning. I fought that laziness. I fought my body to get up no matter if it's cold, it's raining. We've gotten there. We've pushed the body. I've gone through my mental while I'm working out. I'm fighting against the anxiety that's going to hit me during the day and leaving everything else from yesterday. I'm preparing myself for battle today. And if my body and my mind are clear, then I'll have a better chance at fighting or taking on whatever's coming at me today. And that's preparation. Because I need to prepare to be ready to go and prepare. You know what I'm saying? And so a lot of times in my work, like what Kobe's talking about and what I've seen him talk about in other videos about preparing for the hardest impossible shots, I'm preparing to shoot the impossible shot. I'm preparing my mind to take on the impossible situation. I'm preparing my mind to know that I'm going to find the answer for this problem. And again, that's that, preparation being agile in your preparation, not just, oh, I'm going to, no, I'm gonna see what this ticketing system or whatever thing I'm using can do. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna make some mistakes, but I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna try to make the most of it. I'm gonna do what I gotta do with this thing. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'm gonna figure it out because one day I'm gonna program it so it'll work so good that I don't have to worry about it. But I am gonna be ready for whatever comes my way. But you can only do that if your mind is anticipating what you'll need to do. If your mind is anticipating what others won't do or won't be able to do. If your mind can tell, if you're paying attention to what's coming down the road, world, national, local, your organization, personal life, if you can really keep an eye on the swivel, I'm not saying stress, but you need to be aware, you need to be circumspect. And that's how you're going to be able to prepare, because you'll be able to see what you need to prepare for. Let's check out this other video. One more video I want to share from Patrick Bet David. Video from Patrick Bet David. Check it out. This is what he's saying. It's along the same lines. Man, which one is it? I hope it's this one. Let's check it out. I think this is the right one.
You know what it takes to be number one? Let me tell you what it takes to be number one. You have to read every story. You have to read every book. You have to follow what everybody else is doing. You have to study history. Go do hours on top of hours. On Saturday, while everybody's kicking it, golfing, you're reading articles. On Sunday morning, while everybody is kicking it, relaxing, sleeping in, you're reading articles. The number one of any space does things that number two doesn't do, or three, or five even dreams about. You know what it takes to be number one? Let me tell you what it takes to be number one. You have to read every story. You have to read every book. You have to follow what everybody else is doing. You have to study history books. You have to go do hours on top of hours. On Saturday, while everybody's kicking it, golfing, you're reading articles. On Sunday morning, while everybody is kicking it, relaxing, sleeping in, you're reading articles. The number one of any space does things that number two doesn't do, or three, or five even dreams about. You know what it takes to be number one?
Yeah, so like he said, number one does things that number two or three or four doesn't even think about. And the reason why this is weighing so hard is because we're at a point, I think, in the country as a whole where people are tired and they don't think they have to work. And they've been told they don't have to work. And they've been given things to make it. But I think it's FUBAR. It's not good. Like, it's not good to adopt that. I understand. But here's the thing. Whatever people give you, if someone's going to be supporting you, you're going to be subject to what they want. And this economy, the inflation, how things are going, you're going to have to make sure you have some skills to really fall back on. You see the downsizing. You see that skills are going to be more paramount. The more skills you have, the more you're going to be able to fit in, because they're closing avenues to make money everywhere you go. They're closing avenues for you to fund your dreams everywhere you go. You're going to figure out how to fund them yourself, or how to create them yourself. And the more skill sets you have, the more you know how to market yourself and how to fundraise and how to put on a show and how to actually do this and run the way. The more you know, the more you'll always be in a better situation, whether it's working for yourself or contracted to work for somebody else. But you're only going to get that if you prepare, and if your mind has the agility to be able to forget how you're feeling, forget your mood, forget who doesn't like you, forget who's trying to stop you. You need to make yourself, in the words of Sun Tzu, you have to make yourself undefeatable. You can't, that's the only thing you can do. You have to prepare for yourself. You have to make yourself undefeatable. And I want to share with you this verse from the book of Proverbs. And you guys know I read everything, and I read it in the Bible, to the Quran, to the Bhagavad Gita. I've studied so many different philosophers, because it's all come from before us to get us to where we are now. It's all come before. If you want to get stuck on one, go ahead. But why would you be stuck on one philosophy when there's millions of years of knowledge being handed down to you every day, and they've all got here? Like, you got to really be able to check this out. But I'll show you this this verse from the book of Proverbs that I think about all the time. Let's get there, and let me make it full screen for you. Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field. Afterwards, build thine house. Proverbs 24:27 for those listening. I'm sorry, and if you are listening to this, there is a video component depending on where you're listening at. Again, head on over to ahmedsvoice.com. You'll find the right platform for you. And like I said, I have more platforms coming. But again, we're looking at Proverbs 24:27, King James Version. Prepare thy work without and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house. Yeah, Old English sounds fancy. It's basically the same thing. You have to prepare. You have to prepare. You don't just walk into a field and build a house. You got to look at the land. Is it fertile? Is it good? Is it going to be good for you to raise a family at? What's going on with the existing? Is it a floodplain? What is the soil like? How is this going to be able to support what I want to build here? And then am I going to be able to build extra this, that? You have to prepare thy work without. You got to prepare it up here before you can even start to make it seem like something. Again, remember what I said. Everything is process. Everything is process. You know what? Let's one more time. Be agile in preparation. Before we get out of here, let's listen to Inky one more time because he says it in such a forceful and such a he says it in such a forceful and such a profound way that I can't do it justice. Let's check it out.
If I could talk to a younger cat about success, bro, I would tell him, enter every activity with the need and the want to be the best, right? Enter every activity with the need and the want to be the best, but be agile in your preparation, right? And when I say agile in your preparation,
talk to him about agile.
Right? You got to be agile in that preparation because your preparation will always vary based upon the headspace that you're in, right? And the key to knowing what headspace that you're in is you got to know yourself, man. Like every day you're not going to be super motivated. Every day you're not going to feel like the best in the world. So you got to be agile in your preparation, right? When things happen, when things come up, be agile. Have a level of mental agility, right? The quote says it. It's not the strongest. It's not the most intelligent, but the one that's most willing to adapt to change. You got to be agile in your preparation. But in every activity you enter with the need and the want to be the best. That's not predicated upon external factors. That's not predicated upon who I'm up against. That's not predicated upon their record. It's not predicated upon what they did to the Cats last week. That's predicated upon solely my need and my want to be the best with every environment that I go into. Be agile in that preparation, man, because that preparation will always vary based upon the headspace that you're in.
There you go. Again, it's not predicated on who you're up against. It's on you. Be agile. It's not predicated against who's up against you, who doesn't like you, who didn't give you a chance. It's on you. You want to be a conqueror. You want to be more than a conqueror. Then you got to be that. You want to be the man. You got to be the man and be ready for someone to come after you as the man. Be agile in your preparation. Again, this has been Ahmed's Voice. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Please visit ahmedsvoice.com. Follow me on social media at Ahmed's Voice. If you're on Instagram, make sure you follow my broadcast channel. That way you'll know about every new piece of content that I drop. And if you do head to my website at ahmedsvoice.com, please subscribe. That way you'll get emailed every time I drop a new piece of content. Thank you so much for hanging out. I'll talk to you again soon. Have a great weekend. Peace.